eyes are on Boston. This game, this tournament, the Four Nations has transcended the sport. Canada versus USA. And joining us now is our good buddy, Coach Pete, Steve Peters, who joins us now, ESPN contributor, as well as you can see him on his podcast and all over social media. Coach, don't get any bigger than this, does it?
It's amazing. We're talking important hockey games at the end of February. Yeah, this is a great time for hockey right now.
So let's go back. You got Saturday night. You got 3 fights in 9 seconds. You add the booing of the national anthem, all the political BS, like, the 51st state and the tariffs and all that stuff. The best players in the world are playing. You've been part of juniors, nationals, NHL. Are these two teams, do they dislike each other now because of all of what you see and hear?
I think they disliked each other well before this, but this clearly the atmosphere doesn't help.
Yeah.
I went to college and half our team was American and half our team was Canadian. And the biggest battles we ever had was during Christmas break when we played Canadians versus Americans. It was bloody. There were fights. Guys were hurt. It was ingrained in us, USA versus Canada, 30, 40 years ago. So this is just a culmination of all that happening right now tonight in Boston.
These two teams, would you say going into the tournament, Canada had a better squad? Yes? No?
I don't know. I think everybody thought this was the best team USA's ever put together.
Okay.
And I think the Americans had the slight advantage. Now, is that hold true tonight? I'm not so sure. Going in, I think on paper, Team USA was as deep as any team ever that Team USA put on the ice.
So when you look at it back overall, and let's say the USA wins tonight, can we officially say that we are the prime group of hockey? We're the top of hockey and replace the Canadians?
We passed them. We passed them.
Did we pass them?
Yeah, I'm an American, so I'm going to clearly say yes. Won the World Juniors this year, back-to-back World Junior Championships for Team USA. The game of hockey is in really good hands right now with these American hockey players. Hockey's seeing another heyday, kind of like what you saw back in just after 1980 with the Miracle on Ice. Hockey's doing alive and well, and not only in the United States but here in the desert. Don't forget, Arizona's still home to hockey.
Steve Peters is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. So, in the game this evening, are we going to see fisticuffs? And if so, only in the first period, because you well know, Steve, nobody wants to take that penalty in the second and third period and have players off the ice in the sin bin.
Yeah, I'm going to disappoint hockey fans and sports fans all over North America. I do not anticipate the gloves dropping at the drop of the puck tonight. I just think this is too important. I think Team USA took a risk putting both of their Tkachuk brothers in the penalty box for 5 minutes to start that game. I don't think that's going to happen to start the game. Having said that, I would still take the over on there being a fight tonight. I think the intensity is going to be too high. I think somebody's going to bump into a goaltender. Somebody's going to provide a hit that the other team doesn't like, and you're going to see that team retaliate. I do anticipate it'll be that razor edge of intensity. I just don't see it being right off the opening faceoff.
You can bet it 0 fights plus 200, 1 fight plus 150. I'm sorry, 0 fights minus 200, 1 fight plus 150, 3 or more fights plus 500. I think that's kind of fun. Hey, Coach, let's talk about Brady and Matthew Tkachuk. I think you can make a case that they're probably now the most marketable players in the world of hockey, or at least the NHL. I mean, you got a dad, Keith Tkachuk, who, of course, a former Yote, who should go in the Hall of Fame. But do you expect some huge endorsement deals with these two guys, these Bash brothers, which some people are calling?
This is what hockey needs, and they're trying to continually promote their stars. Unfortunately, some of their stars don't have the personalities that match their position in the game. And you look at Connor Bedard in Chicago, doesn't have that flair yet. He might. Even Connor McDavid is soft-spoken. Austin Matthews is soft-spoken. The world of hockey needs the Tkachuks. I mean, these guys are brash. They're extremely good hockey players, and they play great for their teams, but they've got that bravado and that personality that I think just gives that hockey swagger. don't be surprised. I think you're going to see a lot of the Kachucks in commercials in the very near future.
How great is it, though, Steve, when they met in the penalty box after the first two fights? It was classic. You know, one of them, I think it was Matthew or maybe it was Brady who said, "Hey, I got him good. I got him good." And then Matthew's like, you know, "How was my hit?" I mean, it's like they were playing in the squirts or the Pee Wee leagues, right? I mean, they were like, you know, brothers and how they played coming up.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's Slapshot. And if you, I know the old 70s movie, you watch the Hanson brothers, that's them. Except they're also extremely skilled. Like, they're just so excited to be on that ice. And I tell you what, when they play for their team, they represent their team. They play hard. That's why Matthew won a Stanley Cup. The kid competes incredibly hard, just like their dad did here. Like, that was Keith Tkachuk. And a lot of people don't remember him as a player. That's exactly how he played. And he played with a lot of ego and I'll say arrogance, but he was good enough to back it up. And I think these two kids are the same, and expect them to be the leaders emotionally tonight for the Red, White, and Blue. I really expect them to be really big and influential in tonight's game.
How long do you think shifts are going to take? Do you think that they might go short for a while to try to conserve energy, or do you see some guys staying on the ice longer?
No, this is going to be, I tell you what, this first 10 minutes is going to be crazy hockey. In that last time you saw the fight, I think this is going to be guys not wanting to make mistakes this first minute. I think it's go on, play smart and safe, get off the ice. I think you're going to see guys rolling through at least their first 2 or 3 shift rotations, getting on, getting off mistake-free, and letting somebody else get on the ice. I think you're going to see a really, and watch me be wrong, I'm going to say defensive battle for that first 10, 12 minutes. And then I think this game's really going to pick up. The offense on both these teams is just too good. And you're going to see a lot of offense, but I don't anticipate that in the first 10 minutes.
And Steve, on your Twitter site at S Peters Hockey, you talked about that surviving the first 10 minutes, but you also talk about stay above McDavid. Define that. I like how you kind of broke it, but define that as far as the home run hitter for Canada, how you stay above McDavid.
Yeah, it's one thing that the teams have not done well in this tournament. The fastest player in the world right now is Connor.
3 minutes.
They stay above him. That means you keep your body between him and your goaltender. And the closer to him, the better. Because if he has time and space, meaning a lot of room between the next defender, he can get going from 0 to 60 in a hurry. So Team USA has to stay close to Connor McDavid. And what's hard is when you have to be on the defensive side or above that player in the offensive zone. And one thing when Dave Tippett would coach Arizona teams against Edmonton, it was you defend McDavid even when you have the puck. And if you don't do that, he's going to make you pay. And I believe that's the case for Team USA tonight. You have to be aware when number 97 Red is on the ice.
2 minutes.
If he's on the ice and you have the puck, you still need to have someone close to him defensively. I think he can break the game open that much by himself that you need to stay close to him and defend him extremely tight tonight.
You also talk about staying poised, staying focused, survive the onslaught. That's pretty hard when you got two nations going at it. How do you survive, or how do you stay focused? How do you ignore the noise when this thing gets down to the wire?
That's where I'm worried. It's in Boston, and that USA crowd. It's going to be the USA chant, and it's going to be Mike Sullivan and the USA coaching staff to keep that team within themselves, keep them calm, because like you said, the Kachucks are going to be just like screaming to get out of their skin. They're going to be so fired up, and you have to contain that energy because you can't sit in the penalty box against the best power play in the world. And so you're going to have to ride that fine line, being physical, being into the game, showing your emotions, but staying out of the penalty box. And it's going to be hard for both teams. It's going to be hard because it's
About 1 more minute.
It means nothing. This trophy means nothing.
Yeah.
It's not a medal. It's not an Olympics. It means nothing, yet it means everything to these guys. And you're going to see that in the way they play this game.
I mean, just the excitement about this game overall, and with the amount of the price of tickets just to get in, nearing $10,000. And you referenced it. You said this is February, and it's a $10,000 ticket in Boston tonight.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you know what? Hockey needed this. Hockey needed this little boost in the arm. And people were saying before the tournament, are people going to watch? And I honestly didn't know.
Yeah.
No, I'm waiting until hockey gets picking up again next Saturday. I don't know how many people are excited for Columbus, Washington next Tuesday. They're excited for Canada, USA on a Thursday night during the break. This is great for hockey. And Gary Bettman, hats off. Like, it's done everything they expected it to do and more.
You guys are clear.
Talking Olympic hockey 12 months out. This has been great. It's been a home run for the NHL. And I don't know what the future looks like, but this was great for hockey.
All right, Steve, I got two more. We're already out of time, but I don't care. We're going to go two more with you. One has to do with this. One has to do with hockey in Phoenix. So this first one, how crazy will Canada go if they lose this? I mean, will be a national emergency there where they go absolutely nuts because now the United States has passed them, especially with all the political BS that's going on?
I think you're going to start seeing some excuses coming out because the answer is yes.
Yeah.
If Team USA loses this, hey, pitchers and catchers reported last week. We're fine. Americans, we're fine. We got football coming up in 6 months. We'll get over it. But Canada, they lost the World Juniors. That was devastating. They lose this, and they lose to the Americans twice in a week. Yeah, this is going to be a big deal. And honestly, you'll see this country's hockey program really taking a close look at itself. You really will. This is a big deal nationally to Canada.
All right, last one. There's some reports that the NHL has met with folks in New Orleans on bringing hockey to New Orleans. What are you hearing with that? And would that skip over Phoenix?
You know, because someone has met with the league and showed and expressed interest is a long way from shovels on the ground in a business. I'm sure that there are business leaders and government leaders in New Orleans that are interested. That doesn't translate into a team joining the National Hockey League. I don't see this impede or impact Arizona getting a team back at all. I still put Arizona in the top 3 cities to get a team next. And I don't think that has changed with the addition of New Orleans. And that's Houston, it's Atlanta, and it's Arizona. Whoever gets the operational building first gets the team first. And Arizona could be up and running as soon as 29.
29? It's 25.
I know. 30, buddy. Let's go.
Oh, jeez.
No, but that's quick. That's quick.
Not when
I can, Rock.
Not when you've been, watching hockey for 25 years out here. And I got to tell you, it's a big void right now. I know you're in it. You're mixed. You live it. It's your profession. But for us, we made a business of talking hockey, and now we can't, and it sucks that we don't. And we got to try to bring that back in and figure out how to bring you on a few times a month just to kind of keep the hockey talk going. Because you're right, we will get hockey back. It's just a matter of when.
Steve, that is 4 years. I'll be 96.
Well, we'll still be plugging, Jimmy B. I can't wait. And I'll be right here with you. We'll be talking puck at 96. Can't wait.
Hey, all you puckheads, follow Steve at S. Peters Hockey. As always, buddy, thank you, man. Miss you, man. We'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate it. Miss you guys. Talk to you soon.
That's Steve Peters, one of our regulars, former Arizona Coyotes assistant coach. Now does a lot for ESPN television and hockey. So good stuff there. All right, we're out here at Twin Peaks in Glendale. Suns are at it tonight, and they're playing in Austin. So it's kind of another reunion for Kevin Durant going back to where he played college basketball at the University of Texas. So if you're a betting man, you may want to go on your DraftKings app and really put a bunch on Kevin Durant because he could have a really big night, especially now with Wemby out for the season. So we'll get into that next. Rock of Nuge with Jimmy B.
Twin